You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. And years later, people are still stupid. How you doing?
Years later. That was recorded like 3 years ago.
It's still a great fucking thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't one of our listeners do that?
No, I think No, one of our listeners at the cancel court.
Yeah,
But-
this is a good opening.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think I found like some Yugoslavian guy to do it for like $20.
Some uke?
Yugoslavia that's not a country that exists anymore.
No?
No.
Why?
It was like under the Soviet Union, but now it's broken up into like Serbia, Bosnia.
It's wild that things can just like change.
Which makes it feel like
America should.
Well, it makes you feel like the world is stable as it is. But no, it's still like there are countries that were, when I was a kid, Czechoslovakia was a country. That is not a country anymore. There's the Czech Republic
Isn't it
and there's
amazing
Slovakia.
that can break down and new ones can form?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
wild.
it's
But you think in
abnormal for
today's-
countries to stay the same.
I know, today's day and age, you would think they would.
Right.
Seriously.
But things are very fragile. I mean, you know, when you were a kid, it was even way more tumultuous. There were countries changing.
I sucked at history.
Well, like Korea, Vietnam, the Soviet Union. Like when you were a kid, Poland wasn't a country.
No?
Ukraine wasn't a country.
Did not know that.
Because they were all part of the Soviet Union. They like weren't independent countries.
Okay.
Russia wasn't a country when you were a kid. There was no country of Russia. It was the Soviet Union was the country.
Okay.
It's like the state, like Florida's not a country. The United States is. If the United States broke up and Florida became a country, that's like what Poland was to the Soviet Union.
It'd be interesting. Like, so it's how they implement it is interesting.
It's crazy.
And how it comes about.
Yeah. I mean, even like Africa has gone through a lot of different countries.
So you think America would ever do that?
It could.
I mean, it could.
I mean, it has in the past. America wasn't all united. Texas was its own country at one point. The whole South was its own country at one point. Right? Like the United States of America at one point did not include Virginia, Texas, Kentucky, North Carolina,
So
South
they were
Carolina,
their own
Georgia.
country?
They declared themselves independent. That was the Confederacy. And they declared their own president. They had their own military, and that was what the Civil War was about. They were fighting where the South, like the southern countries were the Confederate States of America, and the northern countries,
So why were they
the
fighting?
United States of America.
Why were they fighting?
Because,
Like, let them be.
yeah, I mean, they wanted to be, the North wanted to keep the Union. It's
Gotcha.
like if North Carolina tomorrow was like, fuck you all, we're going to be our own country, and if you come into our borders, we're going to kill you. I think the U.S. government in Washington would be like, no. We have something to say about it.
I get it.
I don't think they would just let them do it, right? Like even now, I just don't think they would let them do it. And so they were all one country under the president in Washington, and then half of the states were like, nah, fuck you. Of course, a war is going to start.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I think if we were on like nowadays, if the Western states broke off and we were on the side of the Eastern states that still had Washington, and they were like, fuck you guys, we're not America anymore, I think we would be...
I'd be like, awesome.
Well, yeah, but I think we would... No, like, let's say Texas, I don't know.
I think, like...
Also, there was a lot of, like, moral and money. A lot of the money that the U.S. made back in the day was from, like, the farms and the plantations in the South. And so they kind of needed them.
So if Florida broke off, like if Kamala wins, which I don't think she's going to, but if she did win, that could be a catalyst of our own certain states, red states saying, fuck you.
Yeah, but the thing that makes America great is that each state has they have really diverse economies. And so when you bring them all together, it's like, this is an unstoppable economy, right? Like Florida, we don't have oil in the ground here, right? We don't. But we buy it through Texas because Texas and California have oil. If we became our own country tomorrow, we would have to buy oil from Russia or Iran, or Saudi Arabia.
Why?
That fucks
the
us.
federal government's buying it from Iran and Saudi Arabia.
Barely. The
I don't know
majority
if
of our
I-
oil comes from...
Is that true? I don't know if I think
Yes.
that's true.
I'll find out.
So that's your Jon and Bron 24. We're in 24 now. Was that for this election?
Okay, so I'm wearing our original merch
'cause-
shirt.
Wasn't it 20?
21 probably is when we made these shirts, 2021.
Okay, yeah.
And we made, the next election would have been now,
which
and
is
it's crazy to
that
think
we
that
are
we're
here. Yeah.
And on Tuesday is the election. The day after this comes out is the election. So I figured I'd wear this shirt just as a.
No, it's a great shirt.
It's crazy that
It's a great shirt. You did a nice job with it.
Let's see. 72% of the oil that is used in America comes from American soil.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought that we
5 states account for 72% of the oil used in America.
What are 5 states?
This is from the U.S. Department of Energy. Texas is 42%. New Mexico is 13%. North Dakota is 9%. Colorado is around 4%. And then Alaska is around 4%. So, yeah.
Okay.
A vast majority of our oil
did
comes
not
from
know that.
America.
So then why do they keep saying we can become more and more, we want to become energy independent? The politicians. If we're doing that, are we not energy independent?
Well, I guess 100% of it would mean we're
But
energy
we don't
independent.
need to do that. How much you said? 70 what?
72%.
Yeah, we don't need to do the other 20.
Crude oil is produced in 32 states, but 5 states combine for about 72% of the oil used in America. 14% of U.S. crude oil was produced from federal offshore Gulf of Mexico.
So what is this energy independence?
Says crude oil declined. 98 countries in the world produce about 85 of the. Okay. So look, top 5 oil producers and their total percentage shares of the world production: U.S. 15%, Saudi Arabia 13%, Russia 12%, Canada 5%, Iraq 5%. So we're not only the biggest producer of American oil, we're the biggest producer of world oil.
Okay, but then what? I don't understand this whole energy independent.
Well, I mean, I guess it's better to be like, let's keep doing it as much as possible, right? And hey, I'd rather the world be buying our oil than Saudi Arabian Russian oil. But also, I don't know. I guess it's also other aspects. Like that's gas, right? Or that's oil. That's not natural gas. It's not electricity. It's not coal.
Okay.
That's just oil.
Okay, gas, the petroleum.
Natural gas is different
coming from
than this.
Saudi Arabia.
No. Most of the natural gas comes from Alaska and Russia, I think.
What's this tie where we're getting? It's like $50 billion or so many gallons we're getting from Saudi Arabia, and we're making them richer.
Well, yeah, we do buy, right? I guess we only produce 72%. So we
Okay.
do buy oil from them, but also a lot of the rest of the world does too. But I think there's also a lot of untapped oil in America that hasn't been utilized. Like I think we have a lot more oil than we're making because of the environmental concerns. So like we don't make as much oil, where other countries are just like, they just drill the fuck out of everything to get oil. But also a lot of their land is unusable. A lot of our land where oil is like it's not desert. Like it's stuff that we could use.
Interesting.
Like they drill in LA. You drive through LA and you see the fucking drills.
Really?
And they're pumping oil out of the ground in LA. And so it's like not ideally, but in a perfect world for the oil companies, they would get rid of all the houses in LA, drill the entire thing and make it way more money.
So
but that's not feasible.
Can we ever deplete our oil, or does it keep being produced?
I don't know. That's the question.
Like, is that like water?
So it's not there's like the renewable energy and then finite energy. Right? Like renewable energy is the sun.
What's fossil fuel?
So oil, fossil fuel comes from fossils. It's crazy. Like they
rocks.
Yeah, but it's like oil in the fossils. Honestly,
I
don't even know.
All right, I gotta say something. You listening?
Yeah.
You know when they make oat milk, and you take each little fucking oat, or
they don't squeeze it.
Almond milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almond milk, they don't squeeze almonds.
They don't press them.
They soak them so that they get soft, and then they just put them in a blender with water. That's all it is. Almond milk isn't pressed because that would be oil. That would be pressed out of a nut. Like peanuts, when you press them,
so it's
oil.
water mixed with.
It's just almonds that are ground up into a water consistency.
Okay.
If we soak almonds here overnight and then we put them in a blender with water, we'll have almond milk. That's what it is.
Okay, so when you do fossil fuel.
Yeah, so it says a fossil fuel is an energy source that is formed from the remains of prehistoric plants, animals, and microorganisms
how many fossils
that were buried underground and subjected to geological process over millions of years. Yeah, this is from Department of Energy.
But you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's oil, coal, and fossil energy sources, oil, coal, and natural gas are non-renewable resources that formed when prehistoric plants and animals died and were gradually buried by layers of rock. Over millions of years, different types of fossil fuels formed. Today, fossil fuel industries drill these energy sources, burn them to produce electricity, or refine them for use as heating or transportation.
It's a lot of fossils. I didn't know that many existed.
Crazy, like literally dinosaur bones.
Okay, but how many are out there?
Enough for us to
No, it
drill.
doesn't make sense. All right,
So that they say is non-renewable, but then other people, like other scientists, say no, the Earth will does replenish the oil, like it'll create more.
And then solar, like we were driving to Jacksonville last week, and you saw these fields with so many solar panels.
So solar is renewable.
I think that sounds like that's a great kind of energy.
Yeah, it's not as
powerful.
Yeah, right. Like you need a lot more
of the cells.
Yeah, a lot more cells and a lot more time than like the one little drop of oil. Like there's way more energy per inch.
But I still think it's a great thing.
Yeah, that's a good, especially like if we can put them on, right? Like if you're just putting them on the land, that seems like a waste because then it's like you can't use that land for anything else. But when you can put them on the tops of houses and buildings, then it's like we're already using the land for stuff and now we can just make extra energy.
Efficient.
That makes sense to me. Wind is the worst one. Wind's by far the worst.
Wind is terrible. Those turbines are terrible.
They're terrible for the environment.
They're terrible for
to look at.
They're terrible for the birds. They're terrible to look at. They don't produce that much. They have a life shelf. You can't get rid of them.
Shelf life.
That too.
They last like 10 years and then you have to replace the blades.
Yep.
And then you can't do anything with the other ones.
No, it's a problem. And an eyesore.
And then now they're killing all the whales. Have you seen this?
Yes, the vibration of it.
Yeah, the vibration.
Isn't that terrible?
Trump was talking about that on Rogan's podcast.
Can I just sound intellectual for a moment? Seriously, let me have my moment.
They're killing the whales.
But so it is. When I told you, when Mom and I went on our cruise, the Russian, the Baltic Sea, Bronny, I've never seen. When I'm about to explain to you, it sounds like what I'm about to explain to you.
Well, that's what you said. Yeah.
Magnify it by 100 times.
Yeah.
That's how I'm not exaggerating.
No, I believe you.
I felt like they were like Transformers, like this was totally aliens that one day is going to take over. There were I'm talking in the middle of the fucking ocean, like.
Yeah, and then it's like, how deep are those buried?
Well, we get to that in a moment. Thousands, which was so eerie. There's nothing around. How the fuck did they get them there? How do they get them?
That'd be build cities in the middle of the ocean. These oil rigs?
Wait, how do they get them there? Okay, that's one city.
No, but they're like cities.
I know. How the fuck do they get them in? How do they bring them there? I mean, and where's the cord? Is there like one cable, like you unplug it and they're done? It's got to run somewhere.
Stored and then go. No, but Dad, you want to know something even crazier?
Where does it? I know the pipeline.
No, not the pipeline.
Wait. Is there a cable that goes?
Yes. The ocean is full of cables. You know, like
how do they do that?
You know, like when we say like cable television or like high speed internet.
Yeah.
Like fiber optic internet, right? That is a cable.
Yes, run.
And it's under the ocean. There are millions of cables that are running from New York to London, New York to Paris. Like
I know who lays that. The startup cost.
They're laid.
Listen.
And then literally when you make a phone call, nowadays it's all changing because now things are going up to satellites. But like up until 20 years ago, right? Like if you were calling someone across the ocean, it was going through a cable. And now our internet is that.
You start up a law firm, like I got to buy letterhead, I got to buy desk. Like, all right, maybe $50,000 LA. This is billions.
Yeah, but a lot of it is subsidized. A lot of that stuff because it has to be like the power lines. Right. You need.
All right.
We have a lot of election stuff to get into.
Okay,
but we can
1 minute. I just want to finish on these
this
things.
Energy.
Can you look up the windmills in the Baltic Ocean? Okay, it is unbelievable. Yeah, those fucking windmills are ugly. Do they show images? Okay.
Yeah.
Ronnie, there's nothing around. That's not the freakiest fucking thing.
And they're so ugly.
No.
And they're huge.
They're huge.
Yeah, look at them. They're the size of an oil tanker.
Ronnie, how do they do it?
How did we get on all this oil energy talk?
I don't know.
Like,
but
what was the
let's
first
talk
thing
about election shit.
that got us onto this?
I don't know. You know, we always
were talking about Saudi Arabia. Oh, about the U.S. breaking up, like in the election.
Yes.
So I was like, the thing is, Florida, if we broke up from the United States and we became our own independent country, we don't have any industry here. Florida, we don't make anything our main industries are like tourism
and bagels and lox.
But it's like we would be fucked if we became our own country. There's no strategic like need for us to become our own country, because what makes America great is that like
that should be a great slogan.
But what makes America great is like we have steel factories.
We should make it great again.
We have steel factories in the Northeast. We have coal factories in the Virginia, Ohio area. We have car factories in Detroit.
Midwest,
we have oil factories in Texas. Like
farmland.
We have farmland in the middle to grow all this stuff. We have forests up in the Northwest. We
got diners in New Jersey and New York.
But it's like these things, the fact that things are compartmentalized and then be able to be specialized, and then we can all utilize each other's best attributes. It's like that's what made us the superpower of the world. So it just like just because we don't agree with the way the government's going, like it just wouldn't make sense for Florida to break off.
No, I hear you, but
because then we'd have no economy.
I hear you.
Like Florida, I wonder what Florida's biggest exporter.
We're probably tourism.
That's what I would guess. Florida's biggest economy
is tourism.
5 largest sectors of Florida's economy are finance, insurance, real estate, rental, and leasing. So they all have to deal. Those are literally all the same, by the way.
It's all money.
Florida's economy. Oh, here. This is from DeSantis. Florida's gross domestic product grew by 21.9%. Okay, but what is the product? Florida's private sector job growth. No, I just want to know. It says gross domestic product growth rate doubles, but what is the...
Real estate's a big thing for us.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it is. All right,
let's go into this big election thing. What's your thoughts?
The election is on Tuesday.
You said we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, there's just been things that are like we're in the 11th hour, right? So you really have seen the media are in like the death throes. That at least I've noticed. You don't really like...
I don't watch
or like you don't go on like websites, news websites, and see what's a
website.
Like every day we'll just go on like Google News and see what
Ronnie,
news is going on.
I'm busy, Bron. Go ahead, I'm teasing.
I mean, it takes you 5 minutes, but it's just to see what's going on. And then the last week you've really seen the death throes. Like they are just throwing everything at the wall.
But the CNN, MSNBC, they're little concerned. It sounds.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they're concerned.
That's what it seems like because they're throwing everything at the wall to try.
Have you seen anything about Kamala in the past? Have you seen her in the past 2-3 weeks?
She was on SNL last night.
Really?
That's what she should be doing in the last 3 days of the election.
That's what she was on.
She couldn't fly down to Austin, Texas, for a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan, the biggest show in the entire world.
Well, she
said she couldn't
because they weren't staged questions.
Well, she said she didn't have time to fly down to Texas for it, but Joe could fly to DC and do it in her area.
So she should kiss his ass.
He's the biggest. She needs him way more than he needs her.
Forum. Correct.
It's the biggest forum in the entire country.
Correct.
And Trump and Vance went on it. So it's like,
and by the way,
she needs to compete with them.
I was impressed with Trump when he was speaking. Seriously.
Yeah, I thought Trump was good.
He was very genuine.
I thought Trump was good. Vance was excellent.
Well, Vance is your best speaker, period. The guy is awesome.
He, honestly, he's so good that he's starting to outshine Trump, in my opinion.
No, I thought he did from day one when I heard him speak. He's an excellent speaker.
Yeah.
No, he's excellent
and he's
speaker.
Extremely rational and logical. Where Trump has his
moments,
his ego sensitivities, and he has I'm the best at everything. Vance doesn't have any of that. He's just, here's the facts. No, this is what we need to do. This is what's not going right.
He's brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Number one, the guy doesn't take notes. He answers everything. He's strong in a non-offensive way.
Yep.
He also he listens to the question. There's no facial expressions when you see him even if he disagrees. And he's brilliant. He's an excellent speaker. He's an excellent debater. The guy's brilliant.
He's also extremely, like, if you watch his interviews, he's extremely likable. He feels like some guy that you would just know.
Yep.
Trump doesn't. Trump feels like a celebrity.
But Trump is a celebrity. He's a billionaire. It's a different thing.
But it's important. I think I like when I can look at a politician and be
relate.
Like, I trust you because it feels like I know you. You know, it feels like you're like a friend of mine.
I really like Vance. Like, if he runs for president, I will vote for him for president.
Yeah.
And again,
I thought he was excellent.
He gets annoyed. First of all, he served our country. What he came from. He's has an
Yale law.
Yale law. He's bright. He's self-made, interracial relationship. Family.
And he doesn't
man.
even ever talk about or care about because it's not important.
Because he's just a regular fucking
guy.
guy.
Then it's just his wife to him. It's not my Indian wife.
And that's the way it should be.
Of
but
course.
My point is, he's just a regular guy that a lot of people couldn't and he came from nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it gives me chills even talking about it. He's fucking great. So, Kamala's on Saturday Night Live. Did she do the opening?
Yeah.
Okay, can I watch it for a minute, or we're going to get shadow banned?
No, we won't get shadow banned. We just, won't make YouTube money.
So what do it make? What do it make? $6?
If that, yeah.
Okay, so I don't give a fuck. I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll give you $6, Bronny.
Thank you.
Or everybody can join Patreon and he can make more.
True.
I can't stand her. Bronny, I can't stand her. Who do you think's going to win?
I think Trump's going to win. I did.
You don't think they'll fix it?
Okay, wait. Let's watch this first, right?
I hate her. I got to watch this. This is great.
She came to our clinic after.
Not this.
No. I hate her. I want Biden over her.
Let's see.
Do we still know what her views are?
SNL ratings.
Do we still know what her views are? And he killed it in Madison Square Garden, did he not? Killed it.
Oh, he sold out, and there were like 70,000 people outside.
And they're saying it's like Nazi Hitler.
So people were saying it was like a Nazi rally. Meanwhile, people inside were like, there were Israeli flags everywhere.
All over the place. And there were Israeli survivors that were offended.
And every time someone said talked about Israel, people were cheering. So it's like, how is that a Nazi rally?
But this is their narrative.
You can say it's a totalitarian or authoritarian rally, but Nazi, it just can't be because there are Jewish stars.
They're fucking
inside.
They're drawing they're grasping anything.
Let me do Trump SNL. I'm sure it's trending right now. Yeah, look here. This is in 2015.
Jimmy Fallon's good with it, right? All right.
I'm about to go out for my interview with Jimmy Fallon.
No, he's not.
I'll call you back after I comb my hair.
Shane
Talk
Gillis
to you in
is
3
the best
hours.
The best, beyond. Better than Trump, right?
Wow. I look fantastic.
Same skit. Same skit.
Yeah.
Same fucking skit. Trump's the beast. I love him. 1 minute. Go back. I love it. I love fucking
this
Trump.
This one's 6 minutes.
We look fantastic, and I mean really fantastic.
All right.
So they literally copied. So people are saying Kamala can't even, Kamala's even plagiarizing her skits.
Okay, not only that, but she's taking his tips, everything, right? No tax on tips or overtime. She's taking every one of his fucking things. Unbelievable. But he's fucking. So you think he's gonna win? I think there's a very good chance if there's no corruption.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about the.
You almost look. I think there's gonna be corruption. We'll never be able to prove it.
So yes, I mean, but I think there's corruption in every election ever, in every country, every election ever since the dawn of time.
Okay.
So it's I don't know. The question is it enough to sway the results?
Oh, I hope he wins, Bronny. I pray to God he wins.
So I want to see what the SNL's ratings are, because she could make it down. She could go to this, but she said she didn't have enough time to go to.
She was afraid
to Rogan, and so it's clearly because it's this is favorable to her. Where Rogan, she was worried this will be bad for us.
Do that many people watch Saturday Night Live anymore? Honestly.
Oh yeah, so SNL. No, SNL's ratings. This one says 5.3 million viewers was their largest this season. 5.3 million viewers for a show.
Was their largest.
Rogan's
Trump
episode.
What did this get? How much did this one get?
I don't think it'll be released.
Okay, go ahead.
As of right now.
Go ahead.
Rogan's episode with Trump within the first 11 hours got 12 million views. Just on YouTube.
Huge.
That's not including Twitter. Let's see. Rogan, Trump interview numbers. Let's see. Interview ratings.
Anything you can get on the internet. Trump was great.
When's this from? October 29th. I mean, I'm sure if I go on the thing, it's probably over 20 million views. So
Hannah got over 20 million views.
Yeah, on TikTok.
Yeah. She's done nothing. She's done nothing. She has not done the couple of interviews she did. They had a refix.
Yes.
Okay, she doesn't visit. She didn't visit what happened in with the hurricane. She didn't do anything regarding that. We still don't know what her fucking policies are. When Brett Baer interviewed her, they were saying wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. She's done nothing. We still do not know till this fucking day, other than the fact that I
know, but that doesn't matter. No one's voting. Not a single Kamala voter. If you ask them what is Kamala, why are you voting for Kamala, they're not going to say what she's done.
Right.
They're going to say, or not even anti-Trump. They're just going to be like, we like her and her vision for the future. It's not about what she's done or not. What she hasn't done.
I'm talking about her policy.
But they don't care.
What's her vision?
But they don't care.
Right. So when we say they're voting for a vision, what's her vision?
I'm saying that's what they'll say.
Right. But when you ask them, there's no fucking answer.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They're still voting for her.
I understand that you are educated. Do you know what her visions are?
I mean, it's all the left stuff. It's just both sides. Like each side has placed themselves on.
Obama says if you don't vote, you're they make it like if for women, you're sexist against women. If you're a black man and you don't vote for her, then you're against your own race. I mean, they're pulling out. They're a fucking joke.
Okay, but the right does that too.
No, they don't.
If someone voted for Kamala, you wouldn't call them names.
Sorry, did I fuck it up?
No. You wouldn't call them a name? You wouldn't say, oh, you're a pussy bitch or something for men who vote for Kamala?
But
you haven't done that?
Wait. I'm not on a politician saying that. Even Biden saying that he's garbage. These people voting for him. Yeah, garbage.
That was a huge gaffe. But a lot of people...
you look at Biden, he's comatose.
Well, a lot of people think that Biden is like kind of trying to secretly undermine Kamala's campaign. Because that was really bad for them, the garbage comment. He put on a Trump hat the other day.
Well, I'm sure they're not friends, the two of them.
No, she like fully ousted him. So people are thinking like he's kind of like fuck her, and like he's kind of just trying to be not helpful to her campaign by calling half of the other side of the country garbage.
Unbelievable.
But then Trump leaned into it and showed up in a garbage truck.
Right. And a lot of news press on it. But then the
stupid, like, it's so stupid though, then like a bunch of Trump supporters and like Don Jr., they were then walking around in public in garbage bags, being like, oh, and it's like...
I know, but that's stupid.
Yeah, it's extremely stupid.
Dumb.
And that's juvenile. Like,
no, dumb.
Like, guys, you call yourself the conservative party. It's like, be conservative.
And let their damage speak for itself. You know, it's childlike.
People were like showing up to the rally the other day in garbage bags.
Well, listen,
and it's
I will say there are a lot of Trump supporters that are a lot of wackos. There are.
Yes.
But I pray
there's a cult around Trump, for sure.
So they already brought in the National Guards into D.C.
This episode is brought to you by Original Grain. Original Grain makes awesome watches. We're both wearing some. We have a few in our collections. If you don't know what Original Grain does, they make reclaimed watches they make watches from reclaimed materials, right? So they'll take an old whiskey barrel that's been used, or a tequila barrel, or gun ammo, or a motorcycle, part of a motorcycle, part of a guitar, and they'll take the wood that would otherwise be, going
discarded,
to the garbage,
right?
And they'll turn it into not only a dope watch, but then also it's like something that you can have a connection to, right? So I love tequila. I drink tequila all the time. My watch is made with wood from a tequila barrel.
And they're good looking, by the way. Every watch is different looking.
And so they do collabs with awesome companies, right? So you're rocking a watch. You love motorcycles.
Yep, so it's Indian motorcycle.
We got you an Indian motorcycle collab. So it's made with parts from an Indian motorcycle.
And look at the bezel, how cool that is.
Yeah, that's made from an Indian motorcycle engine part.
I think it's very cool.
They also have like Taylor guitars. So, if you play guitars, you can get wood from an old guitar.
Military ammo boxes.
Yeah. Yep. Jack Daniels, right? So if you love Jack Daniels, you can get a watch that is made with Jack Daniels barrel. It's super cool.
It really is like an American manly thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. And there's just a connection to it. And you're also like doing something good because you're taking waste and you're recycling it into something that you wear and is cool.
Yep.
And for Black Friday coming up, I know it's crazy that we're almost there, but for Black Friday, they're running a huge sale. So they're running $100 off their prices for Black Friday.
Who's paying who? That's so cheap.
And then by listening to the show, and if you use the code ISSUES, ISSUES, you get an extra 10% off the 100. If you're in the market, it's gift season coming up soon. If you're in the market for a gift for someone in your life,
they will like it. I guarantee it. They will like it. And it's
just such an easy way to give a gift because as a kid, you're like, oh, I know my dad loves whiskey. Okay, here, they have a whole whiskey section.
Right.
Or, oh, I know my dad loves the military. They have a whole military section.
Correct.
Easy way to give a
Beautiful
gift.
gifts.
So head over to originalgrain.com. Get it now while they're running the sale. Don't forget to use the code ISSUES to get another 10% off your $100 that they're already giving you off. Do it now. Gift giving season done.
I did.
Okay.
So I don't know
I don't
what
see that as a problem. I think they should.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know because we're not going to have a victory come Tuesday night.
Okay, why the fuck? We're in 2024. We have electronic voting, right?
It should be by midnight.
I wrote in my thing and then I scanned it into a computer. Okay, so somewhere there's a computer that went, boom, it tallied my vote.
How'd it go?
Someone didn't have to count it themselves, right? It was all a machine. We're in 2024.
And it takes
state of the art. And it takes a couple weeks. And our government has all convinced us last election. They were like, oh, yeah, this is how it is. It always takes a couple weeks. No, when I was a kid, when you were a kid.
Yes, we knew.
You knew by when you went to bed on November 5th.
Who the president was.
You knew who it was. And now it's like, you don't know for weeks. Fuck that. Honestly, that's where the biggest scam to me is.
That's where the fraud comes in.
And both sides are all like, oh, yeah, no, it takes a couple weeks now. And it's like, no, they convinced us that it takes a couple weeks and that it's always been this way. It's like the biggest gaslighting ever. It never has been that way.
I agree with you.
Every other election in every other country, every election up until 8 years ago in this country, every time it was like,
and technology's better.
By that night, the votes are all counted. We can figure it out. If we need, right? If they're worried about, oh, we don't have enough people to count the votes, hire more people. But now we have electronic voting systems and all that stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, it just takes a couple weeks.
It's inexcusable. It really is. It really makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's one thing to like say, oh yeah, there's a one person one, and then the other side it's like fighting and litigating and saying we want to recount, whatever. Sure, that could take a couple weeks. But the fact that like, oh yeah, we won't know who wins for weeks, it feels like they're both sides have like agreed to this procedure so that they could. It feels like both sides have agreed to this procedure so they can like have some cushion, some wiggle room to be like, oh, if it doesn't go our way, we can
let's do this.
We can fuck with it a little bit.
Look what Dodgers won the World Series and they destroy their own fucking city.
Okay, that was really random.
I'm just saying, the National Guard's coming. It ain't for the fucking Republicans. It's for the fucking Dems and liberals.
Okay, I can also say
if Kamala wins, I don't think there's gonna be riots.
When Trump lost, people stormed the Capitol and someone died and people were assaulted. I can also say that.
Okay, but that was Pelosi did that.
When Trump lost, there was actual violence, right? When Hillary lost against Trump the first time, there wasn't actual violence. Okay, so those are facts. I can say that. Like that's not I'm on your side, but and that's why I think that's not a good talking point. That's not helpful because it's just not true.
Helpful. People already voted.
No, but it's just not true. Because it's like the only facts that we have, right? The people who, you said the Dodgers, when the Dodgers won, it's like those aren't political. That's not political violence.
Like California,
they were just looting because they were like, let's take this opportunity. It wasn't, we're against Trump.
I'm not saying that political. I'm saying the liberal.
But you said the liberals are the one. That's political. You made it political.
I meant the California, the state, whatever. I wasn't.
Yeah, but all that we've seen so far in the last 10 years of our political process is that when the Republicans have lost, there has been actual violence on government property. When the Democrats have lost, there wasn't. Okay, that is true. When Hillary lost, there wasn't. She called Trump, she conceded the election, and then there wasn't violence. There was screaming and crying, and everyone at college campuses were like, oh, the world's over, the world's over. They were being dramatic and babies, but there wasn't violence. But when Trump lost, there were 2,000 people that broke windows and doors of the most important government building in the country, and someone died. Someone got shot and died. Like, there was violence. There were doors and windows broken. Okay? So, that's just factual.
Violence, but when all the BLM and everything like that, those were peaceful riots?
No, but first of all, didn't say they were peaceful riots. I didn't say that.
I'm not saying you did say it. I mean, in the way it was
portrayed.
But
I'm not. But we know that the media portrays things incorrectly. We try to portray things correctly. So I'm telling you that what you said was incorrect. Because you said they're bringing the National Guard because we know that the liberals are the ones that cause the violence.
Okay.
Like they haven't.
I heard you first
politically.
2 times.
They haven't. Especially in the BLM riots, like the people that were smashing and looting weren't there for being like, BLM, we are on side. They were like, oh shit, there's a BLM riot. Let's go fucking take advantage of the situation and loot. Like,
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's just factual.
I think we need to, if we lose, I think the conservative people need to do an overthrow and take over the government.
Okay, so are you being serious?
Uh-huh. I think that we need to take back our country.
So
Like you said, it happens all the time.
So you don't believe in democracy?
I do believe in the democracy.
So if 51% of the people in this country, through the democratic process, vote Kamala in, you think that democracy is to say, oh, no, that's not right. The 49% are going to be the ones to win?
No, I'm just saying.
What are you just saying? That you don't believe in democracy?
I pray he wins. I don't think there's democracy anymore, unfortunately. I think the corruption.
So if Trump wins, but if Trump wins, was it a democracy? Did people vote him in?
Yes.
If Kamala wins, it wasn't a democracy.
Correct.
She was put in.
That's correct.
Okay, I mean, I don't even know what to do with that.
You don't have nothing to do with it.
You're joking. You don't actually.
There's nothing for you to do with it.
You don't actually fully.
What else you got?
Okay, but see, like the problem is a lot of the people on the left, their worry, their biggest talking point is that exact thing.
No, I'm worried about you and my future grandchildren. Okay, my life will be fine.
But the whole point of democracy is to protect
those
processes.
I know. I understand. Listen, you don't. But I'm just saying that if Trump wins, it was the way it should be. If he loses, there's fraud.
What if Trump cheated?
Well,
what if he won, and then in a year from now, it comes out that they cheated?
Okay. Still be better for our
That's
country.
not democracy.
I know, Bronson. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying what I want.
No, but
I hear you. I can.
You can't want You either have to want democracy or you want Trump. Because I want democracy no matter what. And so if 80% of the people, if 51% of the people choose Kamala Harris, then that's democracy working. That's what our country is. If you just want Trump no matter what, you don't want democracy because you don't care about the vote.
Okay, I do care
if
about the vote.
Today you could just have no vote, right? Like if it could just go up to no vote and Trump just
sort of like
president.
Kamala got in her position, sort of like no vote Kamala.
No. How she became, but Dad, you don't need to be voted to become a what's it called? A primary pick. What's the party nominee? You don't have to be elected for that. That's just what the parties have said. This is how we're going to do it. It's not legal. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the Democrats have to democratically elect a nominee and the Republicans have to democratic. That's not in the Constitution. That's actually not how our country. George Washington wasn't the people. Congress at the time was like, you need to run for president. He was like, I don't want to be. And they were like, no, you're going to be the nominee. And then the people voted for him. He was appointed nominee. No one voted him as nominee. Right. So it's like, that's not, I agree. It was wrong of them, but it wasn't illegal of them.
First of all, laws and things change, but in
the Constitution, that's the entire point, is that it doesn't change.
But
so that we're
her
protected.
in office will change the Constitution. Will not protect the.
Why? What will change the Constitution?
She will. I'm telling you, she's corrupt.
How will the Constitution change? You need a supermajority to amend the Constitution.
Okay, I don't
You
know.
need 2/3 of Senate and House of Reps.
Which don't they have?
No,
the Republican
2/3. No way.
Okay.
Both.
Gotcha.
It's almost impossible to amend the Constitution. You need a supermajority. And the whole point was so that someone can't come in and change the laws.
I understand.
But so then you said, but laws change. And it's like, yes, certain laws. But that's the entire point of the Constitution, is that it doesn't change.
I get it.
So that we're protected no matter what.
She's corrupt. That whole party's corrupt.
They're all corrupt.
Listen, but there's
you don't
a difference.
think the Republicans are corrupt?
I think the Republicans, but there's a difference between Trump getting things done and her getting things done and caring about our country and the people as opposed to her. Okay, but she's incompetent.
I agree with the idea.
That's all I'm saying. She's incompetent.
I agree with the idea of there's a difference between Trump getting things done and Kamala getting things done, yes. But if you're going to ignore democracy and laws to get things done, then even if it's good.
I'm not ignoring anything. I'm just saying
I'm not saying you, but even if it's good, right? Like we've said on the show many times, once you give up powers, it's like extremely hard to get them back. Even let's say it's really good, right? Like let's say if someone came in and they were actually the best person in the world for this country, and they would make our country a superpower. Everyone would be extremely wealthy. There would be no poverty, no homelessness, whatever. Let's say in this hypothetical, that was the case. But they became in order to do that, we all had to tell them to be an ultimate dictator, and we got rid of the Constitution, all our laws. It's like, even though the end result is incredible, you can't I'd rather live in a country that is 6 out of 10, but we all have our rights inscribed in the Constitution,
I agree
than live in a country that's 10 out of 10 and we don't have our rights in the Constitution.
I agree with you.
But you've been saying sentences that are not.
No, Bronson, listen. I think that people need to have their rights. I'm just saying that if she wins, you're going to see a major drastic, major fucking problems over the next 4 years. That will be irreversible. And you'll see. He better win. I pray he wins. I can't believe I would have Biden over her.
So the New York Times.
That's scary. Do you ever think that would come out of my mouth?
The New York Times this week, like I was saying, they're all in the death throes. Like they're trying every which way they can to like make Trump look bad.
But if he becomes president, they're going to kill him. They're going to try to kill him. I'm telling you right now. Go ahead.
Okay, no, they wouldn't, because then Vance is president. And I think they might be a little more afraid of Vance. Or at least on the abortion thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Because if they kill him, Vance is president, and I don't think they want that either.
Okay.
The New York Times posted like a whole big, heavy article about like, if Trump wins, I think it was called, right? It was like, if Trump wins, and it was talking about his policies and what he plans to do in the country.
But they're wrong, even. No, they're wrong. They're so fucking wrong.
Wait, hold on, because what it was, so I saw this, I was like,
the press should stay out of it. I'm sorry. They really should. They should.
No, the press should be pressing both sides.
Right, not editorials that just what they favor. They shouldn't.
Which we can talk about Jeff Bezos' thing. Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, so we'll put a pin in that. Because I was talking about the press and endorsements. But so the New York Times wrote up this whole big thing as like a last-ditch effort to be like, this is what our country will look like under Trump, to scare people to be like, you can't vote for him.
Dictator.
No, but Dad, the thing is, I read it because I was like, I want to see. I read it and I was like, that sounds good. That sounds good. Like, as I was going through, I was like,
pull it up?
I was like, this is them trying to scare us. And I was reading it and I was like, this is what our country should be. It was so funny. And then I was like, oh man, I guess I just fully am a Trump supporter, because you read it and you're like, let me see, New York Times, if Trump wins. Okay, here.
That's what they call it, if Trump wins?
Yeah, it's like a whole big thing. If Trump wins, Donald Trump and his closest allies are preparing a radical reshaping of the American government if he regains the White House. Here are some of his plans. Okay, so I'm just going to walk through them. Carry out mass deportations.
What's so bad about that?
I'm just going to read them, right?
Okay.
Increase the number of agents for ICE raids. Build camps to detain immigrants. That one, push for other countries to take would-be asylum seekers from the U.S.
Okay.
Great. I think that one's one of the best ideas.
Wait, so
why should they be in here? If they're coming in through Mexico and Guatemala, keep them there. It's not our problem. They're coming through there.
Right.
Ban entry into the United States by people from Muslim-majority nations.
Okay.
Try to end birthright citizenship. I don't agree with that one. Although that one's a little bit, I don't know how
people,
I feel about
illegals coming here having kids, and the kids become citizens.
Kids being citizens. Actually, like, part of that has been in America forever, but that also incentivizes
people to get over here
to break the law.
Correct. Right.
And then it's like, why should, like, yeah. So, okay.
I'm actually okay with all of them.
A majority of those. And then the ones that I weren't okay with, I'm not like, those are the end
By
of
the
the
way,
world.
the encampments are not to keep them like slaves. It's just saying we're not going to let you run free in America until we get you back.
Also, there are insane amounts of camps on the Mexico-U.S. border on the Mexican side for all these migrants, and they're being treated terribly in Mexico. Like, they're way worse than if they were in America. You can watch YouTube videos of these camps,
them so they don't have to run free and can't rape people like they've been doing, or taking over fucking apartment
or
building.
not even do anything bad, but just ghost.
They will never come back.
Well, that's what
they will never. Right? They'll never go. They never go to court
disappear.
system. You release, come back in a year. Give me a fucking break.
Okay, so those are all the ones about illegal, right?
Wow,
so,
that's terrible.
Then the next one, it says So this one, it says he'll use the Justice Department to prosecute his adversaries.
I don't think he's going to go after.
But it's like, first of all, he didn't do that when he was president.
He's not doing that.
And the current president is doing that to him.
100%.
The current president is doing that
more than once.
They're doing that multiple times. And he didn't do it. He talked about on Rogan, and this was confirmed by like the FBI or something.
He's not doing it.
The FBI had, when he was president, the FBI had like charges for Hillary. And he was like, I don't want, like, we can't do this because it will be bad.
It's anti-America.
So it's like he literally didn't do it, and they're currently doing it. So even
but don't they do that all the time? That's the other side. That's what they do.
Even if he does it, they're doing it right now. So it's like they can't say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this, because they're doing it. So it says, direct a criminal investigation into Mr. Biden and his family. It's like they're doing that to him.
But we also know, that Biden's family has issues. Meaning like with the drugs and all, and the gun stuff.
And the charisma.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. And the laptop.
Yes.
Right.
This one says, have foes indicted for challenging him politically.
That's nice.
It's like he's never said he would do that. But also the left, Biden and Kamala have done that. Did you listen to Vance on Rogan?
They put so many people that are his affiliates in jail.
Right. Some of them did actual crimes.
Yes. No, but there's a lot they strong on.
So Vance said... I didn't know this. You know how Steve Bannon, the editor of Breitbart, who was Trump's campaign manager when he was running the first time, when Trump became president, when Biden first became president, and they were like investigating all into the Trump stuff and the Michael Cohen and all the, right? Bannon was subpoenaed by Congress, like a congressional subpoena. And there was something where his lawyer, Vance talked to us on Rogan, and I don't know the exact details about it, but he didn't comply with the subpoena. He didn't testify in front of Congress, some committee or something, and they threw him in jail for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And he's been in jail for 3 years because, and so Vance was like, the left has prosecuted political like adversaries.
Yes.
And they put Trump's campaign manager in jail for just not showing up to a congressional hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, then this says, use military force in Mexico and on American soil. So it says, declare war on drug cartels in Mexico. How is that bad?
Wow,
who is on the other side of that? So
I think it's great.
They're using these points as anti-Trump points.
This should be Kamala's.
Right? It's like, no, but this is a pro-Trump article.
Yes.
Who is on the other, who says we should declare war on the cartels?
Maybe it is a pro. Maybe they're saying if he's in. Maybe.
No, it says a radical reshaping.
All right, go ahead.
Use federal troops at the border. Sure.
Great. I'm all in favor.
Make our border stronger.
Yep.
Use federal troops on American soil. This says, he came close to unleashing active duty military on racial justice protests that sometimes descended into riots. Okay, he came close to, but he didn't, I guess. Next time he said he will unilaterally send federal troops to bring order to Democratic-run cities. He has also suggested using the military to handle the enemy from within.
But
so I think that's like
he's talking about the riots. But shouldn't our military get involved?
But also when
they were going after cops, Bron, it was so brutal. You see what they did even just the LA riots recently with the Dodgers?
Yeah,
they were harming police officers,
and they were burning like buses.
harming police officers.
Yeah, so and then that guy blew his hand.
Wait, you don't think you need the military? You do need the military.
When I lived in LA during the BLM riots, when Biden was president, there was the National Guard. Which are federal troops.
Correct.
The National Guard was on the street deployed. So it's like, use federal troops.
Correct, but again, it's their narrative. It's their narrative.
I have pictures of it on my phone. I'm at a red light. I have a video. And then tanks and soldiers are crossing through on La Brea Avenue in LA. And that was under Biden. So that they did use federal troops.
But I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that to keep law and order.
But so it's like, so far, many of these things that they're saying Trump is going to do and this is going to be bad, they're currently or have done.
Correct.
Okay, let's see what else. Increase presidential power. Bring independent agencies under presidential control. So the Supreme Court has done that, like kind of with the Chevron. But first of all, the agencies are under the executive. All of the agencies in America, the FDA, the SEC, the FTC, the DEA.
The Eminem song.
They're all executive branch agencies. That's the whole point of agencies. They were created by the president, 100 years ago. Review the practice of impounding funds. He has vowed to return to a system under which the president has the power to refuse to spend money that Congress has appropriated for programs that the president doesn't like. I don't like that. That's very anti-government. I don't know when
we don't know. That it's all speculation.
Well, no, I'm sure they have sources.
Go ahead.
They're not just saying these things. I'm sure they have sources at the bottom. strip employment protections from tens of thousands of civil servants. During his presidency, he issued an executive order making it easier to fire career officials and replace them with loyalists. Wait, making it easier to fire career officials?
I guess like these professional politicians that think they're there for,
Well, no, not like bureaucratic ones, not elected ones.
bureaucratic where like might have 10, like equivalent of tenure and then just like can ride it out.
Yeah, Mr. Biden rescinded it, but Trump said that he would reissue it in a second term. Purge officials from intelligence agencies, law enforcement, the State Department.
Getting the bad people out of
Trump
CIA and
has
FBI.
disparaged the career workforce at agencies involved in national security and foreign policy.
Well,
as
they're
the
bad.
Deep state he intends to destroy.
But it's okay. They're bad.
They are.
We have a lot of problems. We know firsthand CIA and FBI is a problem.
Also, the fact that the left is even on the side, like if you're a black person in America, you can't be on the side of the FBI and the CIA because ever since their inception, all they've been doing is killing black people.
Wait.
They literally have been. The reason why we think of black people and crack, right? Like black people do crack, is because the CIA, no, it was the FBI in the 80s was feeding black people and poor black people in the streets crack to get them addicted, so that then they could go in and crack down on them.
But we know when you saw the stuff with Twitter when he bought it, you saw all the stuff how corrupt they
Right.
are.
They're 100% corrupt.
They're corrupt. So he wants to fucking clean it out. There's nothing wrong with that. And by the way,
dismantle them.
By
There
the
shouldn't
way,
be a CIA.
by the
There shouldn't
way,
be one.
most new presidents come and get their own fucking
They
people.
put their
in.
own people in.
Okay, go
Yes. Appoint lawyers who would bless his agenda as lawful.
Whatever, that's stupid. Keep
Politically
going.
appointed
Keep
lawyers in the
going.
first Trump administration raised objections to White House proposals. Several of his closest advisors are now vetting lawyers seen as. But what does that mean?
I don't know. Stupid.
Okay, then this says impose a universal baseline tariff
Yeah, I think it's great.
on imported goods. I'm all for the tariff.
Well, he says he wants things made in America. He does. Why should other countries get stronger off of us?
Yes.
So if we make in America,
Or do it in Mexico. American Mexico, I'm fine.
No, but he's been very clear on that.
Implement steep trade restrictions on China. Yes, good. He has said that he
Why
will
is that-
phase out all Chinese imports
Why is that bad?
and impose new rules to stop U.S. companies from investing in China. The two countries are the largest economies in the world.
Why is it bad?
It's like when I read that, I'm like, yes, please.
I'm
please.
begging you. But again, make America great again.
But it's like they're using this as an anti-Trump thing. It's like who in America, what individual American is like, oh, we need more money to go to China. We need more money.
I see people post on Facebook. Jews, educated Jews, I see them posting on Facebook, had Trump is a Nazi against Israel, a fascist. They drink the fucking Kool-Aid.
It's just
No, but these are
rhetoric.
educated. I know, but they believe this
But
shit.
if by the way, if we put Kamala, what was the title of this?
if he's in,
If Trump wins. If we put if Kamala wins and we took 80% of these same things and we read it to someone and we said, the New York Times just posted if Kamala wins and we read that, they would be like, yes, I agree with you.
But it's not even true, though.
No, but like trade restrictions on China, not
I
giving money to
agree.
China. Not a
Huge.
single person in America is like, no. We need to give more money to China. Not a single one. Not a single person in America is like, no, we need to not declare a war on drugs.
Right. Or we want less people at the borders.
Yeah, it's just like no one is for that. Slash rules imposed on business interests. He has vowed to revive his deregulatory agenda and go further in curbing the administrative state. Agencies that issue rules for corporations, such as limits aimed at keeping the air and water clean and ensuring food, drug, cars, and consumer products are safe. So like deregulating.
Okay.
Did he do any of that when he was president? I don't know.
I don't know.
Retreat from military engagement with Europe. So it potentially undercut NATO or withdraw the U.S. from the alliance.
Okay. Who cares about NATO?
Also, I'm
Right.
low-key for that.
Yeah. NATO.
We've wasted so much money on NATO and it hasn't done
And
anything
what
for
even
us.
is it? Yeah.
Settle the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours, which, I have my problems with him saying that.
That's
Because
just
he
him.
hasn't He hasn't
That's
said
just
anything.
him. That's
but
just
also,
him.
then again, it's like they're saying if Trump wins, he will
So what's
settle
up-
the Russia-Ukraine war in
And that's
24
a great
hours.
thing.
It's like, yes, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Why would we want that war to keep going?
I
Okay,
think it's- I
that
think
was
it's
the article.
great.
I read that article.
But those are so you now know.
80% of those things, it's like I'm fully.
I
on
would
board
say
with.
more than 80%. So you know where, if this is true, you know where Trump stands.
And
Wait, hear me out.
that's their worst case scenario.
Wait,
of
this
it.
is what they're thinking, right?
Right.
They're what they're afraid of.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know where he stands. If she wins, do we know where she stands?
Do we want to see if they have if Kamala wins?
Sure, I doubt it.
New York Times if Kamala.
She's the
No,
worst.
they don't have one.
Of course, right, because they don't know. No one knows.
They don't have one.
No one knows.
That's funny. Yeah, they don't have one.
She doesn't even have an agenda.
So Bezos.
Okay, talk to me.
Bezos owns the Wall Street Journal, which like is great. He's owned it for a while.
Okay, because it used to be a reputable thing.
It hasn't been for years.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Pa used to get it all the time, delivered. Read his paper. He loved it.
Yeah, in like the last 10 years since he's owned it, it's become kind of like political or also like kind of a shill for big business and Amazon. You know, like in the Wall Street Journal, Amazon does no wrong.
Okay.
Because he owns it.
Okay.
So, you know, in like the last couple of weeks, all these celebrities and all of every news station and every company, all these people have been like endorsing a presidential candidate. And especially like the big ones are, you know, when media sources, you know, newspapers and all that stuff, when they do endorsements. And it's
right.
And the Wall Street Journal said, we're not endorsing anyone this year.
Okay.
And so Bezos wrote an article about it saying like, I don't think that a newspaper should be endorsed, like making a political statement.
Okay.
It should just be like,
I think I'm okay with that.
yeah, no, I think it's good.
Right.
I mean, the paper's still like definitely biased, but the fact that at least the owner is saying,
okay, fair enough.
Well, so a lot of people are speculating that he is pro-Trump.
Okay, because of not being pro-her by double like a negative.
Yeah, but a lot of people like Zuckerberg, you know, like a lot of things have just changed since the last election. When Trump, Biden were running, right? A big thing was the media and social media, especially, was like very anti-Trump. It's like, right, the Hunter Biden laptop story. You weren't even allowed to share it on Facebook.
Correct.
You couldn't click share. And so Zuckerberg and Facebook were like, yeah, it was pretty much like election interference, right? They were like, we cannot let Trump win, so we have to do what we can. It's kind of done a total 180 because Zuckerberg he hasn't full on outright said it, but he has not supported Kamala, and he's hinted in different interviews and stuff that he's like on Trump's side.
Okay.
Same with Bezos, but then it's like, if you're going to vote for Trump,
why can't you put it in your stuff
right
now? You did before.
Make an endorsement, say?
Yeah, saying? Like why can't you support your paper to go a little more towards?
No, but aren't you against that?
I am, but I'm saying they did it before.
But why would you want the Wall Street Journal to?
I'm just
be
saying,
pro-Trump?
they're afraid. It's like they're afraid to come out because.
So do you think
they think the backlash?
Do you think the Wall Street Journal should stay neutral, or do you think they should endorse Trump?
I think just like religion stay out of government, I think the newspaper should.
No, but the whole point of the newspaper, they call it the fourth estate. The whole point of the newspaper is to check government, right? So there's the three branches.
But then be equal. Then be equal on it is what I'm saying. Don't be where you just like we know you're doing it as an editorial to harm one and benefit the other.
Yes,
and
I agree.
What I'm saying.
But then if Bezos said to the Wall Street Journal, "We're endorsing Trump," that wouldn't be even. Okay. Would you be okay with that?
Listen, I want you to understand something. I'm okay with anything that gets that supports Trump to get him in office because of my goal.
No, you're not.
Okay. You understand I'm talking about what my goal is?
I know, but don't say that because it's like...
I can say what I want to say. I can say what I want to say.
You're in support of anything to get Trump into presidency.
I want him in presidency.
At all costs?
Not at all. No, because I don't think... No,
would you
general.
Would you rather give up the First and Second Amendment and Trump?
No.
Wait, I'm asking. No. Just a hypothetical.
No.
Would you rather give up the First and Second Amendment and Trump as president?
100% not.
Or keep those and Kamala's president?
I want to keep those.
Yeah. Okay.
I
right.
That's those.
And Kamala's president. You would actively choose that because that's the only right answer in that hypothetical.
I agree with you.
But a lot of people don't. A lot of people on the right.
I don't know. They say it because I think they're being emotional, like saying we must have him in.
I think Uncle Brandt would say, I'll give you my gun so Trump's president.
No.
Or I keep my gun and Kamala's president. I don't think he would.
No, I think
if Trump asked him, I think he would.
No, I think people maybe, but I think people say it quickly because they just irrational saying it. But if you talk to them, you get past that stupidity, so to speak, or ignorance. Like I want him to win, but I don't want to give him my rights.
Yes, but a lot of people.
So I'm praying.
A lot of those people who, if you talk to them deeply, it'll be different. But on the surface level, like
I
you're
don't
saying,
disagree with you on that.
but those people on the surface level,
But they're idiots.
I know, but those are the type of people. If you get
they're scary too.
10,000 of them,
They're scary.
they're the ones that will protest,
Yes.
that will break into the Capitol.
There's no question there are radicals. There's no question which give they give it a bad name. Like, I agree. I think it's like,
I think if Trump said, we are going to go, like, if he said, fuck before November, tomorrow, on Monday, when this comes out, if he said today, the day before the election, fuck the election, we're not counting any of the votes.
We're doing a takeover.
Every Trump supporter show up in Washington by tonight, and we're raiding and we're taking over. I think 30% of Trump supporters would be there, no questions asked, to do it.
yeah, I think that people.
But then most of those people run on freedom, democracy. You know, it's like,
okay, I get it. I think there are.
I don't think Trump would do that.
I agree. I think there are
That's not him.
stupid people, no question about it, that are militant to some degree.
But then when you say,
let me finish. I can say whatever I want to say. But then I also
but then
think
people are going to lock you in with the stupid people.
So then,
You're not.
who cares? Thank you for the compliment, seriously. But I don't care what people think. Okay, but hear me out for a minute. But I also think that people are so fed up and they're afraid and seeing what's going to go on that they're sort of, and I'm not saying it's right, grasping at straws because it's our only sort of like last hope.
I know, but that's when dangerous things happen.
I
When you're
agree-
at your last hope.
I agree with you.
That's
But I'm
when
just-
the mama bear backed in the corner when she has nothing else to lose. That's when she goes, all hell breaks loose.
I get it.
And so
I
that's
get
when
it.
things get
Therefore,
dangerous.
we better have him win. That's all. I'm
Yeah.
saying for you guys, like that article, I thought was an article in favor of Trump. Those are great.
I know it seemed like it, right?
I think it's beautiful
It's
stuff.
like, that didn't see, when I read that, I'm not like, oh, he's a Nazi.
What's next?
He's racist.
He's going to say not have protest against Jews on campuses. Like
Right.
that's
They-
oh no.
They would say that, yeah.
Yes, they or if you're not if you're anti-America, get out of our country. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all in favor of those things. If you hate America, get the fuck out of our country.
So a big thing now this week that people are talking about, now that we're in like the 11th hour, people are saying,
we're
look,
like the 12th hour, dude.
yeah.
Go on.
People are like, look, at the end of the day, this is how you know which side is right and which side is wrong. Or not which side is right, but
Yes, there is a right side, by the way. Hey, Brian, let's be very clear. There is a right side.
so what people are saying is if I hold up an American flag, which side do you associate that with? And left and right both associate that with right. Right? People on the left aren't flying American flags. They
Right.
don't display American
Isn't that
flags.
weird,
And so
though?
people are like, look, at the end of the day, fundamentally, that's what we're all here for is America.
But isn't
and
that
only
weird?
one side embraces the flag. Right? If we have an American flag
let's
outside of our
simplify
house.
it. You're simplifying it, which is great.
So
I
in the
agree.
11th hour, people are saying, look, at the end of the day, fundamentally, if someone is flying an American flag, people driving by know who they're voting for.
100%.
And that's fucked up.
What?
Because that shouldn't be a political symbol.
right.
That's everyone.
Should
and
be- I agree.
Kamala and that side don't use
Okay,
that as their symbol.
how
And that
upsetting
means
is
they don't they don't view themselves as America.
How upsetting is that?
Yeah. So I've been seeing people say that. And I'm like, whoa, like that one gives me chills.
Yeah, it gives me chills. So even when JD was like, he said, listen, it's simple. If you like the way things were the past 4 years, if you like it,
A lot of people didn't, objectively. Yeah, they didn't.
most people don't like it. Even people on the left don't like the way things are.
You're talking. Sorry, I thought
He's
you meant
saying,
Trump.
no, he's saying, if you like it, like
If you like the
things
Biden
are
presidency.
terrible.
Yeah.
Things have been
Gotcha.
terrible. And you have the same people in office. She hasn't done anything in the past almost 4 years.
Yeah.
If you want to keep it this way and it's a problem, then we know how you're going to vote. But how could you?
Yeah.
It's common sense. This stuff is common sense. And what you just said about the flag
But
thing.
the American flag one is the real.
huge.
That's the nail in the coffin.
Oh, it gives me
Because
chills.
if you're on the left and you're like, I love America, I want America to be great, and that's why I want to vote for Kamala, right? Like if you think that, but then
Nothing wrong with
then
that.
you hear that and you're like, wait, yeah. If I saw someone with an American flag, I instantly
think
don't
that-
associate it with my side. It's like that means your side has lost the script. You've lost the
How
plot.
fucked up is
because
that?
that means you are not. If you want America to be, if you take pride in being an American, and that's why you
It
want to
should
vote for
be
Kamala,
Republican and
you
Democrat.
can't. Right, like you have to how can you rationalize that with the fact that that side doesn't doesn't accept the American flag as their symbol. They don't. They've rejected it as their symbol.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hey, one last thing.
Red, white, and blue.
White, honey?
No, nothing.
Oh, red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything of AOC lately, have we?
People are speculating that she's pregnant.
Interesting.
People are speculating that she's pregnant, and if she publicly came out like pregnant right now, it would look like really bad because she's like her and her cronies and her side have run on a like pro-abortion, like very pro-abortion. So if she's like pregnant, but being like abortion is the most important issue, it's like, how is it the most important issue to you? You're carrying a baby.
Because she wants a baby.
Yeah, but
how stupid are
the
people,
optic? No, the optics of that would not look good.
Right,
if she's campaigning on America, like this is the most important thing because
it's women's choice.
Yeah, but
and my choice to have a baby.
It's not good optics for her to walk around with a baby in her belly and be like, we need to be killing these babies. It's just not good optics. So people are saying that she's been like kind of in hiding. She did an interview with Tim Walz.
She's in favor of abortion? Yes, correct.
She did an interview with Tim Walz, but it was over Zoom. So people are like, she's not like she's trying to hide. It's speculation, but who knows? Yeah.
The flag thing is very simple. I agree. And if you like the last fucking 4 years, then you vote for Kamala. And I don't know. I can't comprehend anyone that would like the last 4 years.
Yeah. Well, so this comes out day before the election. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure we'll have to do like a Patreon with our quick post-election. Maybe we'll do like a virtual Patreon Wednesday or Thursday.
I leave Thursday morning. Okay.
Wednesday, maybe?
Sure.
We probably won't even find out who's president by then.
We will not.
But we'll be in a more clear...
I thought last election, when I went to bed, fucking Biden was Trump was destroying Biden.
Yeah.
I thought it was a slam down victory. I'm like, fucking A, it's a beautiful world.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye, everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.